I need to lose a couple pounds. Hello everybody, this is Steph. Welcome back to Steph's Movies and Music. And I'm here to show you my month of December music pickups or whatever. The title changes every month, so I don't know what it is right now. But anyway, basically music pickups, stuff that I found or have been sold to me, or maybe that I bought off of Amazon or eBay. So anyway, Christmas has passed us, obviously, so I have got some Christmas gifts, music gifts in here as well. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start with the CDs. We'll start with this. This was given to me by my grandma. It's Counting Crows, This Desert Life. I looked this up. It's a fairly decent album from a fairly decent band that did pretty well in the early to mid 90s. And then we have or not a bunch, but 6 Bob Dylan CDs that I bought from a friend's dad. So thank you, friend's dad. So we're going to start with what I think is the coolest looking one. I don't know if it really is the coolest one, but it's definitely the coolest looking. And that's Dylan and the Dead. This is a live album. I checked it out, or I looked it up. It's a live album. Obviously featuring Bob Dylan and the Grateful Dead. So that's pretty cool. That's probably why it's all, why it looks like that. Because it's in association with the Grateful Dead, which always had pretty interesting and artistic cover arts for their albums and whatnot. So there's that. Then we have Bob Dylan. Best value, yay. I got my best value. Bob Dylan, Desire. I'm just going to go through these rather quickly. We got Time Out of Mind, also Bob Dylan. The next 3 are Bob Dylan, so therefore I don't have to keep on saying Bob Dylan. This one's Planet Waves. I got what sold pretty well, so therefore, because I don't know Bob Dylan that well, but so therefore I just usually get whatever sold the best. So therefore, if other people like that song, then I might, I'll go off what other people like. At least back in the 80s, Nowadays, everybody likes, Cardi B, and I'm not a big fan, obviously. So anyway, Bob Dylan, Bringing It All Back Home. And Nashville Skyline. Bob Dylan. Now we're going to move on to somebody that, since I'll be posting this on Facebook as well, most of my Facebook friends probably know somewhat who Bob Dylan is. They might not know who Counting Crows are. They definitely know who Cardi B is, who I just mentioned. They definitely won't know Patti Smythe. She looks pretty generic, and she kind of is, but she had a pretty decent career in the early 80s, like 1982, 83, and 84, maybe 85. And then she went on to a solo career. She has a couple songs that you guys probably know, but just don't know that you know it. But anyway, this is her newest album. It was released, I believe, a couple months ago, like October 9th, 2020. Everybody and their mom is literally making albums in 2020 because there's not shit else to do. You're just sitting in there in quarantine, so you might as well just make an album if you're a musician, might as well. This one's called It's About Time, and it is, because I think her last album was like 10 to 15 years ago. At least her last official studio album. She's done other stuff. And then the most exciting one that I'm excited for, I'm actually in the middle of reviewing this one. I already did an unboxing on this. This is Acdc's new studio album. It was released on I believe November 13th, I believe. And I didn't get it until like a month later, which really sucked. But yeah, it's a very cool album so far. Still in the middle of listening to it all, but it's very cool. I like it. I'll probably finish up the notes that I'm making, because when I do album reviews, I take notes and, do what you probably should do with every video. So anyway, that's that. I just accidentally turned on the Xbox. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the 3 final pickups. And these are all Christmas gifts. So this is Louis Capaldi, Divinely Uninspired to a Hellish Extent. It's his one and only studio album so far. Obviously, he's still relatively new. This was released last year. Obviously, there's Bruises, and Someone You Loved is also amazing, you know. But I really like Before You Go. So, and it's only on the extended version of that album, not on the original one. I guess they just didn't intend it to be a huge hit, but then it ended up being a big hit. So anyway, and now we have somebody that you guys should know who it is. Should you listen to this album of his? Probably not, because he's a million years old now, and he can't sing for shit. But anyway, this is the third McCartney album. Well, really, it's not the third McCartney album. This is Paul McCartney. Right here. That's how old he is. He's like 77 or 78 or something like that now. And this was just released, I believe, December 18th of 2020. So my mom pre-ordered it and got it for me for Christmas, or gave it to me for Christmas. And it's an okay album. I'll probably be doing a review on this one as well. You better be ready for me to kind of rip on this album. But I'll be giving it kind of some leeway because he's old. He's a living legend. Paul McCartney was part of the Beatles, and then he had Paul McCartney and Wings with his wife, and then so on and so forth. So you kind of have to just give it to him. It's just kind of amazing the fact that he's still making music to this day. I mean, his last album was pretty decent, and that was only 2 years ago. I think his first album was just called McCartney. That would make sense. And that was like in 1970 something. And then I think like the early 70s, I think maybe 71. And then McCartney 2 was like 80. And those both did pretty well. And I'm sure this one's going to sell a little bit, at least, because it's Paul McCartney. Everything that's Paul McCartney sells at least a little bit now. Not as much as it did in the 80s and 60s, but, you know, whatever. I'm just talking my ass off. So anyway, this next one you guys probably have never heard of, unless you're like a heavy metal junkie, which I typically am not, but I'm trying to get into that genre more. I like all the heavy stuff, but I also like all the soft stuff and all the stuff that's more poppy than rock, you know? And that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm doing it so therefore I could talk to my dad more about stuff that he likes, because he likes the heavier stuff. So I'm doing this for you, Dad. So anyway, this is Testament, and this is their Titans of Creation album. This one came out, I believe, also in October of 2020. This is a very cool album just by looking at it. Here, I'll show you what it looks like. At least the first disc. It's a double album, a double LP, which is pretty cool. And this is what this mother sucker looks like. That sounds weird. That's what it looks like. It's really cool in my opinion. It really matches the cover art. And yeah, so this was like a special edition or something. I'm not sure if they all came like this or not, but I think it was a special edition. So yeah, that's it. So I'm going to have to edit a lot of crap out because I talk a lot. We're going to go ahead and end this episode. Leave a like, comment. Please feel free to comment below something that I should be listening to that you think I'll like. And yeah, maybe even subscribe. Why not? You know, just do it. I hope you enjoyed. And yeah. Bye. That sucked.